Colorado's public health leaders say that we are in the top 10 states in the U.S. for processing COVID cases for variants. What does that mean? It means we may be more likely to find the Omicron variant when it inevitably gets to the U.S. Not that we should be any more concerned about that variant than the ones currently circulating. Here's Steve Steger.
I think the reality is that we do have a lot to learn still.
About the only thing public health leaders can say for certain about Omicron is that it'll make its way here at some point. Dr. Rachel Herlihy, Colorado's epidemiologist, says it's probably best to let the public health leaders worry about that because there's really not much more you can do.
The strategies that we used for Alpha are the same strategies that we're using now for Delta and the same strategies that we will use for Omicron when it arrives in Colorado and the U.S.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Get vaccinated, wear a mask in higher risk settings, and get your booster.
Reinforces the importance of booster doses, knowing that there could be some greater level of immune evasion.
Do all of this and let the public health leaders worry about this new variant.
The vast majority of what is circulating right now, close to 100% of what we see in Colorado, is Delta.
Dr. Emily Travanti runs the state lab, which now sequences all positive molecular tests for the virus.
The Delta variant is so very transmissible. It's really finding anyone who is not immune to the virus at this point. It's causing reinfections in some people.
They're watching those positive tests, and they're watching what you flush.
We saw Delta first in many parts of the state. We saw it first in the wastewater before we saw it in people.
So what's interesting about Omicron, Travanti says, is that it isn't that similar genetically to Delta. In fact, it has a lot more in common with the variants that were spreading in the middle part of 2020. So she says that tells us that there's a certain population of the virus in the world that's not being sequenced right now, since most of the world sees Delta predominantly right now. They're wondering if there isn't some virus out there that's not making it onto the radar.
Yeah, I feel like this is like anything else that we've learned about the novel coronavirus over the last year and a half. Like, if it causes you to take smart precautions, awesome, but it's not necessarily something you should instill fear in anybody.
It's that idea of issuing a public health order, even if it doesn't apply to someone. It gets people's attention, gets you going. They're just hoping that people do the things that a lot of people have already done. It's those few unvaccinated people that they're hoping this might convince them, hey, go get the shot.
Yeah, we think about all the shifting public health advice in the early days of the pandemic. No shift happening here. This is steady as she goes. All right, Steve, thank you.